Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the first part of our webinar. Again, I'm Yuki. I'm the Assistant Director in the Educational Opportunity Program. And I'm here joined with my co-host and brother, Ruben. I'll let him introduce himself.
Good morning, everyone. So grateful that you're here with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Such a pleasure to be here with everybody. Excited to get our live Q&A going. Yuki, thank you for inviting us and making all of this happen for this community.
Yeah, and as you can see, Ruben and I are social distancing in a comfortable way. So we're here at home with our loved ones, with our family members, and just wanting to give y'all an opportunity to connect with EOP and some of our campus partners. So we have financial aid, Dr. Pablo Gonzalez is with us still, and our student speakers from the past section of the webinar. So we want you all to feel encouraged and open to ask us all the questions that you have right now. I know there was a lot of information in that first part, a lot of information about finances and classes and EOP support. So this is your opportunity to ask those clarifying points, and you can text in your questions to us right now. We have our phones on us and we're waiting to get your text messages. So just send your question to 510-878-4642. It's completely anonymous. You don't have to attach your name. Just know that you're probably asking a question that several other hundreds of students have as well. So feel encouraged to connect with us virtually through that means. We have about an hour in our time together today. So we probably won't be able to get to everyone's questions, but we're going to try to speak to as many topics and themes about the transition to campus and some of the support services that are ready to welcome y'all to. So throughout the session, again, continue to send in those messages. And I'm going to pass it over to Ruben to intro our first mini speaker before we start answering your questions.
Yes, absolutely. And also, I just want to give a shout out to, I don't know how many of you all are watching this on your own, or how many of you are watching this with like loved ones or other people that are around you. So I just want to say welcome to whoever is around you. Give each other some space and some celebrations. This is definitely something that was accomplished as a village. So it is my great honor to introduce to you all our very own chancellor. So some of you all may not know this, but we have the first ever female woman identified chancellor in the history of this university. It's an incredible honor for us to be led by a woman. And it is our gift, really, that our chancellor really lifts the EOP community and makes it a priority, to the point that she went out of her way with her team and made this video just for you all. So Yuki, if you do us the honor and playing the chancellor's video for us.
My name is Carol Christ, and as UC Berkeley's chancellor, it's my pleasure to offer some virtual words of welcome to you, our newly admitted EOP students. After a long and competitive admissions process, you may feel that you're lucky to have been admitted to Cal, but it's not luck that brought you to where you are. It's your remarkable energy, ambition, resilience, creativity, curiosity, and readiness to challenge the status quo and reimagine the future. We're so thrilled at the prospect of having you join and contribute to our wonderful campus community. If you're the first in your family to attend college or come from a background underrepresented in higher education, you might have doubts that you belong at a place like Berkeley. Let me dispel them. You belong here. You will thrive here, and you will contribute so much to our campus. If you choose to enroll, we will do everything in our power to help you succeed. This promise of support takes many forms. We're expanding our excellent academic mentorship programs. We're investing in services that provide help when students have unmet economic, food, and housing needs. We're proud to have recently opened a new space for our Undocumented Community Resource Center, because we stand up for our dreamers and fight for their rights. Another fantastic resource is the Educational Opportunity Program itself. Beyond the invaluable guidance and support it provides, it will be, in many ways, a home away from home during your time at Cal. More than half of the current EOP staff are UC Berkeley alumni who are in the program themselves. They are here to support you and your family during this important transition and will help you flourish once you're here. Thank you. We're so eager to welcome you to our campus and to ensure you have a truly transformational UC Berkeley experience. We hope to see much more of you very soon. Go Bears.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, you got some love from our chancellor, from our main boss. And now we're gonna really allow ourselves to arrive to our conversation. I know there's a lot of stuff going on today and this morning. I don't know how many of you all are like in my household. I know that my mom likes to blast music and wakes us up scolding us with a lot of love. So there might be some different energies going on right now. So we just want to like calm ourselves and really focus ourselves. So we're going to start with this little Mentimeter exercise. So if you have a smartphone or a tablet or even laptop, you want to pop it up on your device, go to menti.com, MENTI.com. And I want you to check into our Mentimeter, which is 618060. So once again, menti.com, 618060. I see some of you are starting to arrive. There's 2 little hearts, 3 little hearts. Folks are starting to arrive. Beautiful. Menti.com, 618060. Once we hit about 10 little hearts, we'll go ahead and transition to the next one. Beautiful. Yuki, do you want to take us to the first slide? So just to check in, the first one, just to make sure that this is working, we want you to let us know, I live most of my life in. Are you a TikToker? Are you an Instagrammer? Are you a Snapchatter, Twitter, Facebook? Do you stay away from social media? Or are you an abstract philosophical thinker that is asking, what is life in this moment? Okay, okay. We got some live results right here. Wow, Instagram is really popping right now. Shout out to my philosophers making their way. What is life? This is actually pretty helpful. You're letting us know how we should communicate with y'all as you come to campus, for those of you that have already chosen or will be choosing to join us. So Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Okay. Yuki, how do you feel? You want to go to the next one? Beautiful. All righty. So now, what was the most meaningful or helpful part of today's webinar? What was most meaningful or helpful from today's webinar for you all? You have a little bit of a written box there, and you can write whatever you like. We want to learn from y'all in this moment. Yes, beautiful. Shout out to all of our students that shared their stories who are right here with us. So when we go into the Q&A section, excited for you all to connect with them. Oh, shout out to Sylvia, financial aid presentation. I didn't get to watch it because my mom made me clean. Yo.
Can't really argue with that one, Ruben.
Yo, that respect to the, I hope your mom is watching right now. I don't know the English speaker, Spanish speaker, whatever language they speak, let them know that we have nothing but love, and we'll make sure to honor the cleanliness moving forward. The most helpful and meaningful thing from today's webinar was the words of wisdom and inspiration. Inspirational messages, knowing that counselors are always available. Yes, yes. Personal student experiences, everyone being so welcoming and warm. You're welcome. Knowing that there are other people who are always there to support us. Yes. Hearing how EOP connects to students, reassurance. Hearing the personal testimonies from the other students, also the financial aid presentation. We told you all Sylvia was legit. So thank you all so much. Keep bringing these in, but we got to move us to the next one. So the next mentee question that we got here for today is, Share one word that describes how you are feeling right now. Excited, nervous, grateful, overwhelmed, tender. Ooh. Hopeful, motivated, thrilled. Yes, keep bringing them in. Keep bringing them in. Overwhelmed. That's real. Confident, thankful, shy, chill, indecisive, scared. Beautiful. Keep bringing them in. We'll give about 10 more seconds to see what our word cloud becomes as we arrive over the 80 submission marker of community that is here participating in our Mentimeter. So at this point, I'm seeing our larger word clouds of shared experiences being excited, reassured, nervous, overwhelmed, inspired, and anxious. So thank you all so much for sharing your authentic experience that's coming up for you right now. I want to make sure that you know that we make space and we welcome all of the experiences that are coming up in this moment. As we shared with you in the webinar, all of us on this side have been where you are right now. The only difference between you all and us is time. And we want to acknowledge that we've navigated through many of these, and some of these we're experiencing right now, just being here with you on this new reality in this global pandemic circumstance where we wish we could be all together in person. But this is the best that we could do to make you all feel all of the love and the excitement for you. So we're going to go ahead and transition to our next question as we hit 111. That's an incredibly lucky number right there. So now there's a little bit of a range here, from strongly disagree all the way to strongly agree. The first one is, I believe there's a community that will care for me at Berkeley. The second statement is, I believe that I can be successful at Berkeley. And the third question is, I believe that I belong at Berkeley. Let us know where you are right now. This is going to help us shape our conversation as we transition into the Q&A. And it's going to guide our folks here that are in circle gathered for you to know how we are feeling as we're transitioning into today's conversation. Love this, love this. 4.6, I believe there is a community that will care for me at Berkeley. About a 4, I believe that I can be successful at Berkeley. And a 3.7, I believe that I belong at Berkeley. Beautiful. Thank you all so much. We're about the midpoint of the group. The last question had 111 responses. So as we're making our way to our responses for this one, I want to make sure that we capture as much as possible. Keep bringing in your answers so that we as a community can temperature check each other and can let each other know where we are. Also, you know, we want to lift the fact that some of you may be sharing this conversation in this space right now with loved ones, and they may not be English speakers. So take your time, translate for your family, involve them in the conversation, however much you want to involve them. And if at any point in time you feel that a little bit vulnerable or maybe something that you wouldn't want to translate, it's okay. Make stuff up. You know, Sylvia used to make all kinds of stuff. Pablo used to make up all kinds of stuff. Esme makes up stuff today to her parents. So, you know, we understand the translation hustle. So do your thing. Beautiful, y'all. I think we're gonna go ahead and transition to our next one. Yuki, if you can move us along. Now, at this point, and this is the final question that's gonna transition us into our Q&A. How many of you all know that you're coming to Berkeley? How many of you are still undecided? And how many of you all at this point have decided that you're not gonna go to Berkeley? You're mostly here just to kick it, or just to see what's going on at Berkeley so you can advocate to the other campuses. We want to know where we are right now so that we can be intentional in our Q&A to have time for the folks that know they want to go to Berkeley. There's some questions and conversations there. And then there's also the folks that are undecided, and what can we offer to you as you are still harvesting and cultivating the decision of where you're going to commit to go to college next year. So we're seeing that we are about 47 of us already saying, I'm coming to Berkeley. Congratulations, y'all. We are so grateful to have you joining our family. And there's about 15 of us right now that are saying that they are undecided. Thank you for your honesty. We are really looking forward to sharing whatever it is that you need, and as we transition into our conversation to shape your decision. So I'll give it a couple more seconds, maybe 10 more seconds, so that folks can participate. Beautiful. I think we're wrapped up then. Okay, I think we're good. I think about this time is about 75% of you are accepting Berkeley, and we're going to have a great conversation about what is that path. And about 25% of you are still undecided. So we're going to go into the Q&A, and we're excited to deep in our conversation, honoring the fact that about 25% of you are undecided. So there's a shout out to our circle of speakers, featured speakers, to know that there are some community that is still thinking about where. And then there's 75% of us that are ready to go to Berkeley and are here to get as much information as possible. So let's do it. Let's do the thing. Let's transition to our Q&A, and let's get our conversation on.
But before we go into our Q&A, y'all, I don't know about you, Ruben, but I like free things. Do you like free things?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
So to kick us off, I know y'all were texting in all your responses, so you might feel a little tired and need an energizer. We are going to be raffling off $50 Amazon gift cards throughout our Q&A to make sure that y'all are paying attention to all the great information that we're giving out. So the way the raffle is going to work is we're going to ask a series of questions, and you're going to text in your response to that number. So again, it's 510-692-9424, okay? You're going to text in your response to our question, your full name, and your email address so we can notify you and electronically send you your gift card, okay? And we know right now, given everything that's going on with COVID-19, especially folks from EOP communities, we're experiencing a lot of the financial impact of that disproportionately. So we want to make sure that in the spirit of community, we're taking care of each other and also having a little fun at the same time. So everybody ready? Again, your name, full name, email address, and your response to the question, okay? 510-6. Yes.
I think we got an updated phone number because we got some updated raffle prices for folks.
Yes.
So I want to make sure that folks have the right number. The right number is 510-878-4642. So I don't know if you wanna like edit that on there, if you wanna pause intentional adaptation right now. And we're gonna do the updated number because we did get some last minute prices for you all. So I wanna make sure that you all tap into the full list of prices. 510-878-4642. This is how we're making sure everybody's paying attention right there. Boom, beautiful.
All on your toes. Okay, so full name, email address, and the answer. So our executive producer, / program director Brianna Wright is fielding these in the background. So here's the first question. We're going to do 2 right now, and then at the end of the webinar, we'll do 3 questions, okay? And this is for a $50 Amazon gift card. So the question is, can I get a drum roll, Ruben? What does EOP stand for? What does EOP stand for? Text in your response, your full name, your email address, and we'll see what we come up with. What does EOP stand for? If you were paying attention in the webinar, if you've been reading our messaging, if you're excited to be a part of our family. So let's see, I'm gonna check in with our producer, Brianna Wright, to see if we have a raffle winner. Looks like we're still getting some submissions in, so we'll wait a couple seconds to make sure that everyone has a fair shot. Again, this is the first prize. First prize, we'll have 4 more throughout the day, and I'm sure everyone could use a $50 Amazon gift card right about now. I don't know about you, Ruben, but there's a lot of things to buy.
$50 on Amazon right now. The possibilities are endless.
Some workout gear for my home workouts. Amazon Fresh.
Hey,
Okay,
and don't let your older siblings punk you or your loved ones punk you out of this Amazon gift card though. We know how that goes too.
You texted it in. We're sending it directly to you. All right, we have our first winner, you all. Our first winner is Christian Valencia. Congratulations, Christian. We have your email, so we'll be sending you your gift card shortly after this. So congratulations. That was kind of like the warm-up round, y'all. So we're gonna do 1 more just to make sure that everybody is ready. So the next one is, let me pull up our list of top secret questions. Okay, so the next one's a little more challenging. We want you all to text us 2 services that EOP provides. 2 services, 2 of the many that we overviewed in the webinar. They have to be 2 separate, unique services. So text that in with your full name, your email address to 510-878-4642, okay? 2 services that EOP offers. These are things that you can come to us for support with if you have questions, unique resources that our department offers. What are 2 things that you want to come visit EOP for in the fall semester? So we'll give you all a couple seconds to think through. I know y'all took plenty of notes during the webinar, I'm sure, with all the information that we gave out.
Except for that one person that was made to clean though. I feel for them though. That was too real.
The good thing is, Ruben, all of these videos we're gonna post on our website afterwards. So
there you go.
You have to do your morning chores on a Saturday. I don't want to get in between what you and your mother or parents have going on. That's not my business. But know that all this information, we're gonna send it out in a follow-up email, y'all. So don't worry, you'll be able to replay and watch this info as much as you need to. So again,
don't let them take your dreams, fam. We got you.
All right, we have a winner. The winner for this round of the raffle is Richard Song. Richard Song or Richard Song? Congratulations, Richard. We are gonna send you your gift card. So that was our warm-up round, y'all. At the very end of this, if y'all stay tuned in, we're gonna finish out with 3 more $50 Amazon gift cards. So stay tuned, make sure you're paying attention to a lot of the questions that we're asking, all right? So I think we're all warmed up, Ruben. You ready to take some questions? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. Let's get it on.
All right. Well, let's make sure that we're giving you all the correct number moving forward, because we just don't want to send y'all to the wrong texting. Yep. So actually, before we go into the questions, I want to actually invite our favorite 209 Stockton's finest, Sylvia Marquez, Associate Director of Financial Aid and Scholarship. She's going to go over a couple quick updates and reminders for you all before we take our questions. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic and ping Sylvia to join us.
Thanks, Yuki. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be a part of this today. And I just want to say thank you for your honesty and all those questions that we asked at the beginning. Don't question it. You belong. This is where you are supposed to be. And we are incredibly excited about having you join our family and the Berkeley campus. Few things that I want to just make sure are put out here. So please take a picture of this, do something so you have this information. We have a new webpage just for you all that has a lot of information on it. So there are videos, there is information about scholarship searches, how to do an appeal, loan information. on our page. So please, please go to our financialaid.berkeley funding your future for more information. The other thing is that we are open right now. So as soon as this is over, I've got 25 people on standby that really, really want to talk to you about financial aid and answer your questions. So you don't need to wait until Monday and Tuesday for those appointments. Give us a call now. We are ready to chat with you. And then just know if we don't reach you today, we have appointments on Monday and Tuesday. So please do take advantage of that. Thank you, Yuki.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. And again, we'll be releasing our financial aid appointments in partnership with the Financial Aid and Scholarships Office, specifically for EOP students. That'll be happening Monday, Tuesday, and we'll release it today after this webinar on our welcome page. So now that we've gotten all of those announcements and updates out of the way, y'all, it's time to take some of your burning questions. So again, you can continue to text in your questions to the number that's on the screen, but we have a couple dozen that have already been submitted. So Ruben and I are going to go ahead and tag team responding to some of these questions and just filtering the other ones in as they go in. So the first question that I see is, does EOP support for all years? How do I know if I qualify for EOP? And just some general questions around how do I get access? So again, reminding everyone, if you received a welcome message from us, if you got the direct registration confirmation about this webinar, you are already a part of our family. And being a part of our family means that you're any one of the three. So either first generation, low income, or historically unrepresented. So if you're any one of those three, you're automatically EOP. If you're not sure, you can always email us at eopyield@gmail.com and we can do what's called the Eop verification. There's no application, there's no requirement, so you don't have to come see us a certain amount of times per semester. We would love for you to come in and connect with us throughout your transition, but we just want to make it clear to y'all that you have access to our services throughout your whole time at Cal. You can come in your first year all the way up to senior year as well, so we can make sure that you're plugged in with the right resources and connections too. Another student also texted in and asked, do I qualify for EOP if I'm out of state? Yes. Any one of those three. Again, if you're any one of those three requirements, you are automatically Team EOP. Some other students had some specific follow-up questions about, do I get priority registration or additional scholarships and different services from EOP? So EOP students do not receive priority registration, but again, all of our counselors are trained across all of the colleges and policies around enrollment. So we want to make sure proactively before your enrollment in the summer that we're connecting with you all after Golden Bear advising to make sure that you have a balanced schedule, that you have options going into your first semester. And also we do offer some financial scholarships. So if you go to our website, eop.berkeley.edu, under financial assistance, we do have some limited financial assistance under grants, fee waivers, the Achievement Award scholarship that we offer. And these are all things that we're excited to share with y'all in person when you come in the fall semester too. So
I want to make sure that you all, I want to make sure that you all, for our folks that are undecided right now, for our folks that are still not sure about whether or not to come to Berkeley. I don't know what other university you're considering right now. Please make sure that whatever your other university is, that they have a program like EOP, that they're going to have a program that is fully dedicated to you in the way that we have described to you all EOP is at Berkeley. That is not a guarantee in all universities. Some UCs have an EOP program. Some of them, unfortunately, do not. If you're considering a CSU campus, in the CSU, you do have to apply to get into EOP because it's a scholarship program. And you have to apply on an annual basis for some. And in some, you apply once and you stay with them through graduation, but it's not a guaranteed service for all students. And if you're thinking about a community college, that's a whole different set of support programs. In your decision, I want to invite you all to prioritize making sure that whatever college you go to, there's going to be a program that's dedicated to you as a person, as a student, as a community member, and as a developing professional so that they can take care of all of those different areas, so that by the time that you graduate, you're graduating at your healthiest, with the best GPA, with multiple job offers, and ready to transition, maybe not a job offer, but maybe graduate school or a fellowship or some other opportunity. If the other school that you're contemplating about right now doesn't have a program, or if a program from them has not reached out to you the way that we have, follow up with them to confirm. And if they don't have one, don't go there. I'll just plant that there.
Thank you so much, Ruben, for that offering, and really just, again, emphasizing y'all that we want to make ourselves available to you all. I think EOP is really a unique part of what makes the transition for students so supportive and so welcoming. So we're glad that you're texting in your questions. I see a couple other ones coming in, and we want to make sure that in our last 30 minutes, we get to some of those. So the next question, I'm actually going to tag team this with Ruben. There's some questions about services for undocumented students. So as we shared in the presentation, we partner very closely with the Undocumented Student Program. You all saw the welcome from their program director, Liliana Iglesias. And some students have some questions around, how do I get connected to USP, the Undocumented Student Program, and what type of services do they offer? So I can share a little more generally about some of their unique services and how our partnership between EOP works. So we kind of consider ourselves to be sibling programs. You're an undocumented student, you are also part of the EOP family, and we try to spread the love. So in addition to academic counseling, they also have free legal support for you and your loved ones as well. And this is in private, confidential spaces, because we know the sensitivity, especially given the current climate, and that for undocumented students, there is a different, unique experience that you might be going through given the current political climate. USP students also have access to free mental health support. So we have 2 licensed psychologists who are here to hold space for you as you're transitioning, not just the academics, but also the socio-emotional part that comes with being a college student, that comes with being away from home and navigating a place that can be really intimidating at times as well. USP also offers emergency grants and financial support and assistance as well. And we really encourage you, if you are a USP student, if you've heard about the Undocumented Student Program and have questions, to make sure that you plug in and connect with us in the summer and the fall. So we make sure that you are meeting other USP students, connected to their community and social events, and making sure that you have a home away from your own home as well. I'm not sure, Ruben, if there's any other pieces that you want to add about USP and some of the great work that they do on our campus.
Yeah, I think I want to make sure that for all of our undocumented students, for all of our students that were formerly undocumented, or for our mixed status families, that you all know that we know that being an undocumented person in an undocumented family or community is an ever-changing reality. There's so much going on with federal policies, state policies, local policies, the reality of day-to-day life. We understand that. Many of us grew up that way. Many of us are still in families in that manner. So we're being as attentive and as responsive to keep up with what's going on, and take it even further, advocate on behalf of our communities. I'm incredibly proud that UC Berkeley was amongst the first institutions that didn't just make scholarships available to students, but created whole programs, and has only gotten better every single year through the wisdom and leadership of undocumented students themselves, always leading the way, setting the tone for us, and the Undocumented Student Program in partnership and ideating and figuring out how to do it better. So really, it's hard to find a better university to go to when you're in an undocumented status, mixed status family, or any of those diasporic identities. So we look forward to supporting you and serving you. Another thing that I'm seeing here that's coming in through our text messages, some of you are asking if there's Spanish speaking support in some of these different opportunities and areas. I want to invite you all to ask for the language support that you need. I don't want to assume that the only language that is needed out there is Spanish. If in real time any of our offices don't have a language that you prefer, let us know that that's your preference, and we can reach out to community and we can figure something out. We love to be emergent in that way at Berkeley. So absolutely, Spanish is almost going to be available, at least in the financial aid office for sure. Sylvia speaks Spanish, Cruz speaks Spanish, some other folks speak Spanish. And also in our EOP space and our USP space, both of those spaces have Spanish speakers. There's going to be opportunities for us to have conversations with you directly, and to have conversations with whoever is your guardian or parent or loved one that has additional questions. Feel free to let us know and we can flow with you.
Awesome. So we're seeing a lot of questions coming in, y'all, that are around finances. And I know we had a really in-depth presentation by Sylvia. I'm going to invite her back to speak to the question about scholarships. So I know a lot of y'all are looking through your financial aid package and trying to address where there might be gaps, or do you need to take out loans, and maximizing scholarships and free monies. So I'm going to invite Sylvia on to talk about, how do I find scholarships? What happens when I get the scholarship? How do I report it to the university? And how can we encourage students to maximize some of the free scholarship money that is out there and available to them in their transition?
Great. Thank you, Yuki. If we could go back to the slide with the resources, that would be great. So we do encourage students to apply for outside scholarships each and every year that you are enrolled in college, so graduate and undergraduate. In the second bullet here, you'll find the scholarship search information. There is a new publication that we just put out, a one-pager, but we have on our website, which is financialaid.berkeley.edu. If you type in scholarship search, you will find a lot of search engines there. And as I said earlier today, our commitment to you is to help you maximize the free dollars that you already have in your current package, and also take advantage of the outside scholarships you are bringing with you. It's really important to know that our students bring in over $10 million a year, as I mentioned earlier, and 60% of our students don't borrow loans. And the way that they can do that is by bringing in these outside scholarships. So I really encourage you to do that. The way that you report your scholarships is in Cal Central. So we looked at the My Finances page earlier today. Near the awards section, which was on the right-hand side when you're looking at your awards on a computer screen, there is a section that says outside resources. So if you click on that link, that's exactly where you can tell us that you are receiving an outside scholarship. In real time, we will adjust your package so you can see exactly how your loans and work study might change. There's also a video on this specifically on our Funding Your Future page, which is right under that first bullet there. And then I do want to plug one more thing. Again, we are open, so please join our virtual line. We have staff today that do speak Spanish, so please just let us know that. And we are here until 3 o'clock, so please join us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. If I can keep you on for one more second, a lot of students are asking about the financial aid verification. So some of them have looked through Cal Central and they see that they might have additional documentation to fill out to make their awards finalized. Can you speak a little bit about that process? And one specific question was around, what year of finances do I put on my verification form?
Great questions. Thank you. Yeah, so verification, doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your application, not at all. It means that either the federal government, the state, or us as an institution just want to document the information that you put on your application. And so once you accept your admission and you create your CalNet ID, we will then need you to create an account in our Berkeley Forms page. That information is listed in the task for verification specifically. You'll find it there. And as you log in, what you will see are the questions that we actually need you to answer. It's not just a generic form. There are specific questions that we need you to answer, maybe upload some documents for us as well. If we're asking for tax information, we are asking for tax information from 2018. So it's great for you to have a copy of your tax return, your 1040 form, make sure that it's signed if that's what we need from you. There could be other things we need from you. It may be documentation of selective service, or citizenship, other things. So just go in and take a look and it'll tell you specifically what it is that we're looking for. The sooner the better, so that we can take care of this and have your aid finalized so that you don't have any issues. Once August comes and we're ready to start dispersing money, we can take care of that as soon as possible. If you can get this in by June 30th, we guarantee that we'll have it ready for you by the time fall starts.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sylvia. And again, Sylvia will still be on this line. So if you have other financial aid questions that are coming up, go ahead and text it into that number. That's 510-878-4642. So I want to invite our student and faculty speakers in to address the next one. We have some questions about Berkeley's competitive nature. So how competitive is Berkeley really? What's it really like? They want to hear the real deal from you all, especially Esme and Arisi, who your current students navigating the academic landscape. And they just want some more insight on how did you navigate these transitions? How did you find community? How do I approach professors and start to build that relationship? So maybe if between Esme or Arisi, if either of you all want to phone in and speak to just your experience being an EOP student and navigating the academic part.
Shall I go? Or
You good, Arisi? So tell us a little bit about how you adjusted to the Berkeley academic culture, how you navigated building relationships with professors, and for students right now who are feeling a little nervous about how competitive and rigorous they hear Berkeley is, if you can speak to some of those things.
yeah, I think the important thing to know is I think you don't have to do this alone. That's the main thing. When it comes to Berkeley's competitiveness, it's like how I said in my speech that you heard before. It is real. There is competitiveness, but I think the thing that really gets people is like the culture in which like they're trying to pursue their education. The way that you make it through Cal is by forming a community and by being in a community that's helpful and representative of the ideals and stances that you believe in. In terms of getting connected with professors, I think the big thing is you want to be there for their office hours. You want to just ask questions. I think even like I'll be there another year at Cal, and I'm pretty sure a lot of EOP students. So if you want, you can drop by the EOP office or the USP office and talk to either one of us. We'd be grateful and we'd be glad to share our insight. I think the major thing in getting like letters of rec and getting to know your professors more is just being there during their office hours that are just open for them, asking them for individual appointments. That's always helped me. That way you can get the individual attention that you may need in order to address certain questions or just to formulate a relationship with them as well. So yeah.
Thanks so much, Arisi. I'm going to invite Esme also to share a little bit about her experience since she's currently a first-year student. Can you share, Esme, how your experience was transitioning in the fall and getting used to the pace and rigor? Were there any resources that supported you in that process? And how have you reflected back on that experience now?
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with what Reese was saying. Like, you have to definitely get a community, and I'm in a lot of STEM classes because I'm trying to be in the STEM field. So you could very much feel like the intensity and like the rigor is there, and a lot of kids are really well prepared, so they just boost the level even higher. But that also just means that you just work harder. And so where I found my community was through this thing called Adjunct. So it's like a helping class, a helping 1 unit class for my math classes. And it's about like 60 students at the most. And we just basically go over what was said in lecture. We have our own quizzes. We take practice midterms before the actual midterms. And all those kids in there are all feeling the same. Like they feel like they need that extra support and help, but we all acknowledge too that it's real and it's okay to ask for more help. And also the Student Learning Center, which is located like right next to the EOP offices. I spend a lot of my free time there throughout the day, just getting help from the tutors and everything like that. And you build like, you make connections with other students as well that are going to the tutoring center to get help, which is really nice because then I get to ask them like, oh, what'd you get for this homework and everything like that. And also you have discussions as well with your GSIs. I personally like to go to my GSIs a lot too. And those discussion sections are really small usually, and you get the more like individual or just like small setting group, which is really nice as well.
Thank you so much, Esma and Arisi. I also want to make sure that we give space for our own faculty member on this call, Dr. Pablo Gonzalez, to share a little more about any advice you can offer to students who might feel a little intimidated or nervous in approaching faculty members in what we call office hours, which is really kind of like just any open hours or time that you can connect with faculty and ask questions. So I'm going to invite Dr. Gonzalez on, and if you could speak to students and giving them a little encouragement and advice about how do I approach professors, what's the value in building relationships with professors as well, and any advice that you can give students to start building that relationship even from the first time they step foot on campus in the fall. So I'll mute my mic and invite Pablo in.
Thank you. That's a great question. One of the things about Cal students that I'm always kind of in awe about is the fact that you all are so ambitious. I meet students that want to like triple major and double minor all in 4 years. That is that you all are not satisfied with learning or participating in only one field. You all are multifaceted, and obviously we all live complex, multifaceted lives. So to think about only, for instance, engaging one field of study, for many Cal students, it's never enough. I think the question about competitiveness is obviously not something that is only at Berkeley. Many of you come from high schools or junior colleges that already had that sense of competitiveness. And there's a lot of us who teach and who mentor who definitely try to bring in the question of conviviality and community. That is, that if you build your communities not only to help you in academically, but also socially, in all facets of your life, then I think you'll become the type of student that when the opportunities come, and they will come, I guarantee you, Berkeley students are always looking also for opportunities outside of campus, whether it be internships, whether it be programs, study abroad programs, many other programs that obviously Berkeley has great success in funneling students into, that you will find that Berkeley expands its borders across not only its campus, but across the United States, and if not the Bay Area, obviously. But all of that, to come back to the question about how to approach, for instance, your professors and so forth, involves, for instance, letters of recommendation. And remember that letters of recommendation are letters that praise you, that praise your successes, that give stories about how you've accomplished so much in so little time. I have students that have taken only maybe a semester of my classes, and some that have taken every semester a class with me over their last 4 years. And to make sure that I let them know that one of the things about visiting my office hours is a sense that I want to get to know them, and that I also want to get to know them so that I can write the best possible letter for them, so that I can advocate for them, so that if something goes on, whether it be on the campus or if something that they want to apply to, a scholarship, an internship, that I have the most amount of information possible to be able to tell them how amazing you are and how amazing the things that you'll do afterwards. And obviously that still is a little bit of intimidation. So one of the suggestions I would always do is that you always, when you approach your professors or your graduate student instructors, many times your graduate student instructors will be the ones who have that more intimate connection with you in terms of your coursework, that you come always with questions. And those questions should be always geared towards thinking about the work that you're engaging in. If the professor allows for office hours to get to know the professor or to ask other questions, that you again have questions, because not everybody has open office hours like I do. Some have, because they're doing their own research, they have classes, they have very limited office hours. So you want to make sure that you do the best to give that impression to them so that they'll remember. Will serve you all 4 years as you decide to do research projects, the McNair's research project, Fireball for undocumented students, formerly incarcerated students also have many opportunities to engage in research, the Hot Scholars Program, Mellon Mays, so many things for you to be able to participate. And that begins with us being able to advocate. So I would say, make yourself, just be able to go to the office hours, introduce yourself, where you're from, and have questions. And, again, as I mentioned, in my little 2-minute, 3 minutes that I presented to you all, it is about opening doors. So don't feel if a door is closed that it will remain closed. Okay, be persistent, and you will find many doors open at Cal, and we want to be able to advocate for you. So I think that's a kind of drawn out answer, but I am an academic, and we draw out way too long of an answer. Yeah.
That was perfect, Pablo. Thank you so much. And just emphasizing, y'all, if there's one door that will be open for you to connect with a faculty member, you already have someone. Dr. Pablo Gonzalez, you can find him, you can look him up. He can be a point person for you to start that conversation and know that you have a support system in academia already waiting for you too. So we have some more financial questions coming in, and I want to make sure that we speak to those. So I'm going to go back to the slide Sylvia had shared with us to make sure that we emphasize to you all that currently right now, today from 9 to 3, you can speak with a financial aid representative. So the questions that we may not be able to get to that are specific to your situation, if you go to that link at the bottom, the virtual kiosk link, that's how you can get in the queue to sign up. And there's not a wait time right now. So as soon as we finish this in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I really encourage you all to take ownership of this resource specifically for students who are EOP, to connect one-on-one. If you are Spanish speaking or your loved ones need translation, just self-identify that and they'll be able to pair you with someone who can help you as well. I want to invite Sylvia back on again because we're getting a lot of questions from students who have some nerves and anxiety about being able to financially sustain themselves through their time at Cal, right? So students asking, is my financial aid package going to change every year? What are resources or advice that you can offer us? So Sylvia, can you join us and just kind of speak a little bit to some of those themes and any advice that you can offer students who are trying to weigh out their different options right now?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for all of those questions. That completely makes sense, and you're asking all of the right questions. I think what I would say first is that know that you're not alone in this process. We know that this is new for many of you, and it's, things are done differently on different campuses. And so we are here to help you and support you through this process. And one thing that I want to mention that we talked a little bit about earlier is that financial aid partners very, very closely with EOP and many of the other equity programs on our campus. And so we have counselors dedicated specifically with hours at EOP, at our transfer center, with our parenting students, our undocumented students. And so we do partner very, very closely. So we encourage you to take advantage of those hours when we are there in those spaces. So the first thing is you're not alone. I think the second thing is that, we can help you put the pieces together. As a public institution, there are going to be loans and work in your package when we offer you financial aid. And so for most students. And so, there is a sense of concern around taking on the debt and loans and all of that, which is completely reasonable. I think the key to all of that and deciding how or if you need to borrow loans is doing some homework. And so we can help you create a budget and plan and determine whether you actually even need to borrow those loans or not. Where are those other resources that can take the place of those loans? And there's work study. We're very thoughtful about students being here to be students as opposed to working all the time. And when finances are a concern, it can prevent you from focusing on those other things you need to do, which are your academics, the research, your families. And so know that we are here to partner and help you through that. Yuki, can you read a couple of those questions again? I want to make sure that I got to all of that.
Yeah, I think you addressed a lot of them. Really, they're just asking for any specific advice that you have or resources that are available to help students as they think about their financial plan through their 4 or 5 years at Cal.
Yeah, and the other piece is that your aid is likely to change from year to year a little bit. It depends on where you live. Are you living in the residence halls? Are you living in an on-campus apartment or an off-campus apartment? It also depends on how much funding the institution has to award students. We do our very, very best to not have those be dramatic changes from one year to the next, because we know that that will impact our students, especially our students from EOP. And so we do a lot to try and help you plan. On our website, the Funding Your Future section, there's a video about cost of attendance and awards that might help you sort of understand how things can change, how outside scholarships will play into that, to help you understand how to piece those things together. Again, as Yuki said, we are open. So as soon as this is over, please, I encourage you to give us a call. Even if you don't know what questions to ask, tell us what your concerns are, and we can try and walk through what those questions are with you and anticipate what are the things you're going to need to know to move forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that, Sylvia. So just wanted to lift something, folks. I think in some of these conversations, it's been a little bit in between the lines, but we just want to be very clear and very direct with you all. We know that this is not a status quo, normal, going with the flow kind of moment or incoming class. This is a moment we are sheltered in place. This is COVID-19. This is a global pandemic. And every day feels like a year in terms of updates and changing dynamics and realities. And there's so much going on. We want to make sure that you all know that we acknowledge that. And we want to invite you all, if you or your loved ones or the people that are influencing your decision want to have a conversation about that more directly, we are making ourselves available to you all. You all have our website, you have our contact information, and we can have those conversations so that you feel a little bit clear. At this point, I want to make sure that everybody understands there should be no college, there should be no university that is telling you all exactly what's going to happen in the summer or in the fall. Nobody knows. We are all taking it one day, 1 week at a time and adapting plans according to the pace of COVID-19. With that said, what we want to make sure that you all understand is this: you are an incredible gift, and you are so phenomenal that you were admitted to UC Berkeley, which is one of the most abundantly resourced and supportive universities in the country. You have been accepted to a university that has multiple programs and people and places that are fully dedicated to you all. That means that whatever the circumstance is with COVID-19, we will probably have more resources in terms of financial aid, more resources in terms of staff, more resources in terms of programs and services to support you through any and all realities that COVID-19 presents. We want to make sure that you understand that you share that with your parents, guardians, and whoever is influencing your decisions, so that you know that you are moving in the best direction possible. And for the folks that are undecided, make sure that the other college, the other university that you're currently considering is as abundantly resourced, dedicated, and is preparing for all of those changing landscapes of COVID-19, because we don't want you to undermatch. We don't want you to go to a university that doesn't have as much and is not preparing as well as we are preparing for you all. just wanted to plant that there in your conversations that you're having with yourself and with your loved ones about how do I factor COVID-19 and my admission and my decision of where to attend to university. I'll check my mic there and pass it over to Yuki.
Thank you so much, Ruben, for just speaking to a lot of the questions, fears, concerns that all of us are sharing in real time, given a lot of the uncertainties, and really just wanting to use this virtual space to connect and to normalize that and invite those questions in. So y'all can continue to text us at the number below. We'll take questions for about 10 more minutes. Right now, we're gonna take a pause for another raffle because I know y'all need to get energized. We've been sharing a whole lot of information with you all and links and acronyms. So we're gonna do our final raffle. And then after this, we'll answer a few other questions before we wrap up our time together today. So again, the instructions for the raffle. Ruben and I are gonna offer 3 different questions, one at a time, and you need to text in your full name, your email address, and the answer to the raffle question. We're also gonna ask you to text in your hometown, where you're at right now currently, the city, the location, just for fun, just to kind of see where folks are at. So Ruben, I will let you ask our first raffle question for this round.
The first raffle question for this round is,
make sure y'all are studying back on those slides, thinking through the different resources and acronyms that we went through with y'all today. This round is gonna be a little more challenging than the first one, just a little bit.
No pressure for folks, no pressure.
But y'all got into Berkeley, so like this should be easy. It should be smooth.
That's right.
I can take the first one, Rube.
Yeah, you want to take the first one?
Yeah, so the first one is, what does EFC stand for? Okay, what does EFC stand for? Okay, this is an acronym that you've probably heard Sylvia mention in her financial aid presentations. So I hope you were paying attention. What does EFC stand for? If you could text it in to 510-692-9424 with your full name, email address, hometown, and the answer, and we'll see who our next response winner is. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just over here messing up your raffle chances and opportunities. This is the outdated number. So we're gonna go ahead and take you to the first slide. It's a different number for you to send your responses in. Remember, the first number you all went overboard with all of your raffle responses. So this is the correct number. Apologies. 510-878-4642. The question still stands. What does EFC stand for? If you were paying attention to Sylvia's presentation and all the slides from Cal Central, you probably might have wrote it down. If you're logged on to Cal Central right now, I'll just give you a heads up. It's on the bottom left corner in My Finances. So what does EFC stand for? We'll give you all like 15 more seconds to text in your responses, and then I'm gonna tap in with our executive producer, Brianna Wright, who's behind the scenes, filtering in your lucky responses. See, y'all are really Berkeley students because I just got this live on the teleprompter. Y'all texted the right number to begin with. So that's why y'all got in. That's why y'all got into the #1 public university, because you already knew. So let's see if we have our winner. Brianna, we do. So our winner for this round is Celine Andre Mamai. Congratulations, Celine. We're gonna send you your $50 Amazon gift card in an email. So just keep a lookout after the webinar. Congratulations. And the response, the answer for the question is expected family contribution, EFC, and this is based off of the numbers that you put into your FAFSA or Dream Act application. So EFC, you'll hear that a lot in the financial aid appointments. If you're unsure what that means, guess what? You can sign up to meet with a financial aid counselor today, all the way till 3 p.m. Okay, Ruben, I'm gonna pass it to you for the next question. Ruben's trying to give y'all a hard one. I don't know if we should, I should keep it or go ahead, Ruben. What do we have for the second raffle item?
I'm trying to figure out, given like the conversations that we're having with community, what are the better raffle questions right now? We can't make it too easy for folks. Yuki, I'm trying to differentiate the questions that we want to talk through with them versus the raffle questions.
Sure. I think for the interest of time, Ruben, just trust your heart, trust your instinct. I think it's clear that these folks have been paying attention, taking their notes. I mean, we've gotten like 100 raffle responses within 12 seconds. So we know that y'all have been taking to heart a lot of the info that we've been sharing. So y'all are already prepared coming in.
What page of our Q&A script what are the better questions to ask?
We can go to, let's go to this one, because I think some of the students have shared some hints around this response. So the next raffle question, y'all, is, can you name one program that will support you through your journey at Cal? It can't be EOP, because we done gave y'all a lot of EOP right now. But what is one program that can support you through your journey at Cal? So students have talked about different programs and services they've used: academic, personal, emotional, financial. But what is one program that you specifically are thinking about that is really going to help you be successful, help you feel connected, help you feel empowered throughout your journey at UC Berkeley? So again, text it in to 510-878-4642, your full name, your hometown, email address, and the response, and we'll give you all 12 seconds before we pick a winner. So take your time thinking about what is one resource specifically that you will take advantage of. It will help you. It could be a new resource that you learned about through the webinar. But this is our process of really creating a roadmap and building a support network before you even land foot on campus. We want to make sure that you all know where the buildings are, you know what the acronyms are, and you know who your go-to folks can be, so that you feel held during your journey and transition on campus. All right. Oh, I love this one. Okay, so we have a winner. The winner for this round, who's getting a $50 Amazon gift card, is Raven Gatson. Congratulations, Raven. And Raven named the African American Initiative Scholarship as a resource and support system and community for them. Congratulations, Raven. AI is a fantastic community of Black scholars on campus, and you're going to be well connected, well loved, and well supported going into the fall semester. So we have one final raffle question for today that'll wrap up this portion of the webinar. I'm going to pass it off. Ruben, do you have a good one for the people?
I am going to ask them, what is we got some great messages going in and out. Is it? No, you go ahead, Yuki.
This is a question. This is like our 2.0 version of raffle questions that Ruben helped to co-create. He might have a brain fart, y'all, from all the Zoom meetings we've had this week. So the final question is, and get ready to text it in, y'all. What will it take to transition past the capitalist, patriarchal, militarized Western state? What do y'all think is the answer, the solution that will bring us into a transcendence of love, peace, and harmony? Again, what will it take to transition past the capitalist, patriarchal, militarized Western state? This is an intro to sociological theory class brought to you by EOP, sponsored by Yuki and Ruben. So we love to hear your response.
To free all people.
Power to the people, y'all, in true spirit of EOP and liberation. We want to hear your responses, you all. What will it take to transition past the capitalist, patriarchal, militarized Western state? We want to hear from you, because the answer, the healing, the love lies in the future, and y'all are the class of 2024. So you got to lead the way. So I'm going to wait give y'all 10 seconds to text in your responses. And Brianna is gonna share with us who our winner is. And it'd be great, Brianna, if you can also let us know what they're offering, their response, their thought processes. And then after this, we'll answer about 2 more questions before we wrap up our session today. So if you have other questions that are still coming up for you, you can still text them in at 510-878-4642. We're gonna try to get to 2 or 3 more questions if folks can hang on. I know we said we would go till 12:30, but guess what? We're all sheltered in place, so we got nothing but time and nothing but love. So we're gonna give y'all a couple extra minutes to send in some more questions. Okay, it looks like we have a winner. Our winner is Kimberly Duarte. Congratulations, Kimberly. Thank you for submitting your response. So her answer is, it's still coming in hot, y'all. Her answer to how we solve this militarized patriarchal Western state is lots of love, peace, brains, and everybody else submitted a whole lot of other beautiful responses that we hold in community, that we hold in the spirit of EOP. So congratulations, thank you all for inviting just those different thought processes for us. A lot of compassion is also coming into, and that's exactly what EOP is here to offer y'all moving into the fall. If you haven't noticed already, EOP, we try to have a fun-spirited, open community vibe. We really want to make sure that this transition is humanized for you all. Like Ruben and I shared in the previous part of the webinar, we were both EOP students on campus and going through similar questions and nerves and excitement that y'all are feeling. So we are just grateful to be able to connect with you and your loved ones wherever you're at, to spend some time laughing, spend some time learning, and spend some time sharing as well.
Yeah,
So,
I want to make sure that you all know, you know, when I look back on my Berkeley experience, what made Berkeley so special and a place that I'm still here to this day is the people. You know, I grew up in an undocumented household on the border, so we couldn't really leave that area. It wasn't until I got to Berkeley that I was able to find people from very different communities and walks of life, but we all had similar values, similar visions, similar commitments that to this day makes us a family. You know, we graduated now a while ago, and we're still all together, you know, barbecuing and doing the being at each other's weddings, and the babies are coming, and traveling and all of that good stuff. I want to make sure that you all know that we are incredibly community centered. We want to make sure that we're going to be with you throughout your journey. Hopefully this webinar experience and this conversation and this Q&A has affirmed to you all that Berkeley is so much more than just this place of academics and this place that is known for their cutting edge research and being innovators and shapers of the world. It is also a place of deep rooted relationships where we take care of each other, where we support each other. Some of you, when you come to Berkeley, your biggest challenge is not going to be academics. Some of your biggest challenges are going to be more personal, or it's going to be family, or it's going to be community-based, nothing to do with academics. And we want to make sure that you know that you're not alone. You know, every single person in this webinar right now that has been a featured speaker has experienced personal challenges, family challenges, academic challenges, and professional challenges through their journey at Berkeley, and they overcame them with the supportive community and are now on this side dedicating themselves to make sure that future generations have better and better journeys ahead. So you're really coming in at the best point of this community. You're coming at the best point of this university, even amidst COVID-19. I cannot assure you enough. This is one of the most prepared, one of the most supportive universities that is doing everything possible to support students through COVID-19. So I know it's a little bit weird what's going on right now with COVID-19. There might be some tough conversations. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you, your most loved people that believe in you through and through, are telling you stuff like, maybe you shouldn't go to Berkeley right now. It's pretty dangerous. You should stay home. let's really talk this through. Is this really the right time to do that? All of those conversations are 100% normal. We completely understand that. And some of us may be foster youth, current or former foster youth, where those kinds of conversations are very different. So I want to make sure that you all know that there is a dedicated program for current and former foster youth with an incredible community that's going to be dedicated to that experience. And for our parenting students, for our undocumented students, for our formerly incarcerated students, so on and so forth. You're never going to be alone in this journey. You have met us all in this webinar. You have our websites. Do not hesitate to reach out to us to have these conversations. And I know that I can speak for myself, and I've seen the other folks on this webinar do it the same. If you need us to have a conversation with your parent or with your guardian or with your coach or with your educator that is helping you make this decision, we are available to you all, and we're happy to have those conversations that are going to inform whether or not you should come to Berkeley for our undecided community here. And for the folks that have already committed to Berkeley and are still a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous about the journey ahead, we are here for you all as well. Thank you so, so much for being here with us. Again, we could not congratulate you enough. This is the most diverse class in 20 years at UC Berkeley. You are truly a magnificent class that's coming in, and we only are fully dedicated to you all, to your health and success. And we are excited for the world that you're going to shape when you come to Berkeley and after you graduate, because every single one of you is going to do absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you so much, Ruben, for those warm words. We do want to make sure that any student who identifies as a current or former foster youth, that you know about a fantastic program called the Berkeley Hope Scholars Program, or BHS. So like Ruben mentioned in the previous part of the presentation, EOP is part of a larger family unit called CE3, or the Centers for Educational Equity and Excellence. And BHS is a great wraparound program that offers academic assistance, financial assistance, community support in the transition unique to those students who have a background in the foster care system. So this is super important that you self-identify and reach out to the program directly. So if you go to the CE3 website, it's just ce3.berkeley.edu. You can find the link to the Berkeley Hope Scholars Program, and that's how you can get in contact with their amazing, super loving student staff and professional staff who will guide you in the application process and getting connected with services. And BHS is a program similar to EOP that you can be a part of throughout your time at Cal. So again, if you identify as a current or former foster youth, really, really encourage you to self-identify, plug in with BHS. And also, if you feel comfortable disclosing that with financial aid, so they can help you understand different financial resources that you might be eligible for because of that unique identity. So we have just 2 or 3 more questions we want to get to you. I know we're a little bit over time, you all, but y'all are just texting in some great questions and topics, and we'd be remiss if we didn't get to it all. So the next question, I'm actually going to invite one of our friend and campus partners, Quincy Jones, who's a representative from the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. So Quincy is going to come in and speak to this question about the possibility of deferment for my admissions for the fall semester. A lot of students have also been submitting questions about transcripts. I know with the shelter in place, it might be difficult to get some of the documentation that you need to submit for your conditions of admissions. So Quincy, can you speak to the question around deferring admissions? Is that a possibility for students right now? And how can they stay on top of the documentation and transcripts that they'll also need to send in?
Sure, thanks, Yuki. So all of those are really, really good questions, and is a good place for me on the admission side to plug you all logging into your application portal and taking a look at all of the links that are in there. A lot of the questions that are asked of the admissions office typically are housed in there. We have a frequently asked question link, and in that link is where you're going to see the request for a deferral. So the way that it works for us is that that link will be available to students starting May 1st. You'll be able to log into there to request a deferral. And all of those cases are handled on a case-by-case situation. So we're going to take a look at it, and then we're going to get back to you to let you know whether or not your deferral has been accepted. And that's the way that process works. In regards to transcripts, again, if you go to your portal, if you click on your conditions of admissions, that's where you'll see all your information about submitting transcripts, submitting test scores, submitting all of those things to us. What we encourage everybody to try to send us that information online. And there's information in your conditions of admissions. There's instructions for how to send us all that documentation online. There's also a link in there if you are having any sort of trouble getting documents because you can't track down someone from your school or whatever the situation might be going on. There's a link in there for you to submit an update form to the admissions office, and that's going to be your opportunity to just let us know, hey, I'm running into some issues, there's some things going on, and that'll give a ping for us to be able to go in to look at the situation, and we'll reach out to you and work with you as best as we can to figure out what's going on, how we can best accommodate you, and how we can do everything that we need to get all of your stuff into us. So again, check out that portal page. Look at all the different links that are in there. It's going to be a lot of information that's in there, a lot of ways for you to contact us in the admissions office to get information as well. And all of you who are first year admits being admitted straight from high school, in June, later on this summer, you all will be assigned a specific admissions officer. So if you have more questions down the line, you'll have a specific person that you can reach out to. For any transfer admits that are on the line, you all should already have your admissions officer assigned to you, so you can reach out to them as well.
Thank you so much, Quincy, for addressing some of those concerns and questions. I know that was a lot of information, but again, make sure that you all are checking your portal frequently, utilizing those links and frequently asked questions. And if we have other questions, we'll be sure to tap you in, Quincy. So thank you so much. This was also one of the many fantastic staff members from OUA who were reading your applications, and excited to welcome y'all for the class of 2024. So as we come close to time, there's two quick updates and reminders that I want to speak to. A lot of students have been asking questions about housing. So housing in the Bay Area can be challenging with market rates that have increased over the year, but we do want to make sure that y'all are aware of the resources that are available to you and different affordable options. So many of you have been working on your housing application or have questions about it. We really encourage you to submit it by the deadline and keep your preferences ideally as open as possible. That will give you more opportunities when it comes to singles, doubles, or triples. It's also really important to check the housing rates on the Cal Housing website. So if you go there, you'll see that depending on the style, if it's an apartment style housing or if it's a suite, they'll have different annual rates. Students are currently budgeted with a standard budget for housing, but if you're living in a housing unit that maybe has a higher meal plan, or you have your own room and that rate is a little higher, that might adjust your financial aid package and offerings. So those are things that we want to make sure that you're talking through with EOP, with a financial aid counselor, and those are questions that we can review to kind of anticipate what your financial situation might look like in the fall and spring. There's also a great organization we mentioned earlier called the Berkeley Student Co-op. So this is an affordable housing option that offers houses, apartment style, community living, and different theme houses. If you go to their website, you can see their different rates, which can oftentimes be considerably more affordable than off-campus or residence halls. And EOP students get priority preference. So a lot of y'all have been asking, how do I get on the Co-op EOP list? If you just email advising@berkeley.edu and disclosing your status as being an EOP verified student because you attended this webinar, you received a welcome message from us, we can really quickly add you there, and you'll just still need to go to the Berkeley Student Co-op website to apply directly and pay the non-refundable fee. So those are some housing options, again, that we just want to make sure that y'all are aware of, that you're making informed decisions, and that you're aware of the different financial impacts depending on the selections that you pick. One other thing that we want to mention, a lot of folks are submitting questions, it looks like, about enrollments. How do I enroll? When do I enroll once I accept my offer of admissions? So you all will have access to what's called Golden Bear Advising. That's an online module that's going to give you a ton of great information about how to explore different majors, classes, academic policies, how to get in touch with your college advisor. Once you go through Golden Bear advising, that's when you can connect with an EOP or USP counselor. So from there, you'll have a lot of great foundational information, and we can talk about what would be a good balance load for you in the fall, and even if you're considering online summer classes through Berkeley. Enrollment for Frosh students is going to be around the middle of July. So just keep that on your calendar as well. EOP counselors will be available starting in May after the May 1st deadline, and once you complete your Golden Bear advising as well. One other quick question we got in was about EOP STEM. So if you are interested in a STEM major, if you're considering a career in STEM, we want to make sure from your first semester that you're plugged in with a community of folks who look like you and come from backgrounds like you as well. So EOP STEM is a mentorship program and an academic retention program for EOP students who are intended or declared in the STEM field. If you go to the EOP website, it's just eop.berkeley.edu, and you click on EOP STEM in that drop-down menu, that will take you to how to apply. And really it's just them getting your contact information. So you get their monthly newsletters, you know about the professional development trips and study jams that they're doing. And it's completely free. You don't have to pay for it. We feed folks a lot in EOP STEM. So if you want to just find community and sharing a meal with other folks from similar backgrounds, we really, really encourage all, because part of the reality is you might not see as many EOP students as we'd hope for in some of your STEM classes, and it's important to build that sense of community and connection so that you have a go-to system as well. So I'm gonna scan really quickly to see if there's any final questions that y'all have texted into the number below, and then we have one final announcement and reminder at the end. So we've covered housing, we've talked about class enrollment, how to get connected with EOP. Just wanted to remind you all that we will have a new student welcome during Golden Bear orientation. So this will be at the end of August. And that will be the first touch point when you're on campus for you all to connect in a big community in EOP. Our staff will be there, our counselors and peer academic counselors to welcome you, to celebrate you as you come to campus. So keep an eye out for an invitation for that as well. And as Sylvia mentioned earlier, there are financial aid appointments happening today. So again, if you took a picture of that link, we'll show it at the end also, but you can sign up for 10-minute phone appointments. And we also wanted to highlight a couple events coming up through Cal Week through the rest of next week. So there will be a first gen panel and workshop on April 23rd. That's next Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. If you go to admit.berkeley.edu, you'll see where you can sign up, get more information on how to access it. That's where all the events are listed. There's over 200 events throughout Cal Week virtually for you all. I know that can feel overwhelming at times, so make sure that you're sifting through those notifications to get plugged in. And also we have a webinar evaluation that we really appreciate if y'all could fill out, because we want to hear from you, hear your feedback. How was this for you? Did you feel like you got the information and resources that you were looking for, and ways that we can improve it for the future legacies of EOP students? The final announcement, y'all, before we let you all go, is we want to just remind you that next Monday and Tuesday, so that's April 20th and 21st, EOP, the Undocumented Student Program, and Financial Aid and Scholarships Office, we're partnering to offer dedicated financial aid advising appointments that are 20 minutes for just EOP and USP students. So this is super exclusive to all of you tuned in. We want to help you understand your package, understanding loans and scholarships, and if you're considering any appeals. So the appointment signups for those will be released today, Saturday, April 18th at 3 p.m. on our EOP New Admit Welcome page. So that's the same website that you've been viewing all of these videos so far. There will be a button for you to sign up. So keep an eye out for that in a couple hours as well. We want to just send you a huge thank you for spending time with us, for laughing at our silly jokes, for humoring us with our raffle questions. We really hope that this was informative, that it was welcoming, that it felt warm for you, and that you know that we're ready to welcome you in person, hopefully, if everything is safe and sound for the fall semester too. So please continue to connect with EOP. If you have any new admin questions, you can always email us at eopyield@gmail.com. And we look forward to seeing you all in the fall semester. Go Bears, everyone.